This is really awkward right now. If people are watching this, we have sound, right?
Negative. Hold on.
Oh no.
No, I got my volume all the way up. I just had to mess with it. There we go.
All right, so we're live. All right. Will, I thought you was about to get fired. I thought we was about to have to go episode 11 3.0 next week because anyway, I leave y'all for 1 week. 1 week. You know, you can talk. It's okay.
I know.
You can defend yourself a little bit. But anyway,
I had some stupid issues.
we had some rookie mistakes. I think we're probably the first podcast in the universe to ever DNF. That's probably the first one to ever DNF. But anyway,
we're finished.
Yeah, but anyway, we're here finally. When I'm back. I had an interesting week last week. For those that were asking, my father-in-law passed away and unexpectedly, and so I was kind of away taking care of some family stuff, and but anyway, we're back. Been spending a lot more time with Caden at home, and got to this past week, which I do a lot of iRacing and stuff. I stream on TikTok, and she's now she's done got to where she comes in there and spends time with me on the live, and I think she likes interacting with people too and talking with everybody on there. So we had a lot of good laughs the last couple nights.
I'm gonna have to get TikTok so I can watch.
Yeah.
I'm still the last one.
Yeah, if you're watching, if you have TikTok, go follow the TikTok. It's Brandon_K_Hanks. I go live on there all the time. I just come in and hang out and chat with me. But usually, Caden's in there with me, and I'm sitting there paying attention to what I'm doing, and she'll sit there and read it and talk. And
are you racing NASCAR on it?
I do a little bit of everything.
Perky's definitely out.
Yeah, Perky's out. Perky's gone. There he goes. As soon as you said NASCAR, he checked out. But no, I actually, Head was on there the other night talking to me.
Oh.
And she said something. I can't remember how it happened, but she said something to me about, do I ever race the dirt or something? And I got the bright idea I'd get in there and race the dirt late model, and that went about as horribly as it could possibly go. But it was entertaining and it was fun. And Head kept telling me, call Brian Bell, get a setup from Brian Bell. You know, so I guess you've been telling him about Brian giving you setup advice or something, because he was like, just call Brian Bell. So anyway, but yeah, she seems a lot better now. We got on there and had a lot of fun and kind of put the troubles of the world away. So that was kind of my week. But I appreciate everybody that reached out and, you know, for the prayers and everything like that. But so yeah, it's been a rough couple weeks, and I hadn't paid attention to any racing or anything. It just hadn't really been on.
Yeah.
It really hadn't been on my mind, and that's why I wasn't here last week. Greg's funeral, they had a lot of hot rods and stuff, and we were out helping. The night of the podcast, we were out helping try to get some of those running and get them ready for the funeral on Thursday.
The videos I've seen from that, they pretty much put all that work to pretty good use.
Yeah.
From all the burnouts and everything else that I've seen.
Man, yeah,
videos.
There was a lot of black marks laid in Covington. We shut Covington down during the procession.
Well, Kim was telling me where it was at. Like, I'm thinking Garland Community Center is like in the middle of nowhere, like by itself. And then I saw the video. It's like houses surrounding it. I was like,
yeah.
Like, how the cops that?
Well, the sheriff was there with us.
Okay.
And I remember he told my mother-in-law, he said, don't worry, I'll leave here in just a minute. Or something like that. So we got out there, and Chris Glass laid a mean one down in his Cummins. It was a good time. We had a lot of fun getting out there and celebrating a little bit. I know Greg would have enjoyed that. But anyway, so that was kind of our week. But anyway, we're getting past it all and trying to work through it. And Caden, you know, she's got her ups and downs, but that'll definitely be that's just part of it, you know.
That's to be understood for sure.
Well, I left you two knuckleheads and you two knuckleheads. Y'all, I looked up on my phone while I was trying to work, and I looked, and I'm watching you guys play Hangman. So the boss leaves, and y'all start playing
Yeah.
games. Is that
Wow.
is that what it was?
I mean, I didn't really love playing the games, but I just had to participate in it somehow.
Yeah.
So
We didn't have any sound last week, so I apologize for that. I had to whip my guys back into shape, and they got it all fixed up for us tonight, hopefully. But so anyway, if you want to bring up Farmington, I know you missed out on
we
the
had,
chance to talk
since
about
we've
it.
been off, we've had 2 pretty big weeks. Like 2 weeks ago, we did the Queens Royal at Farmington Empire Speedway. It's a big 410 show they put on every year, 7,000 to win. And they had 34 cars, somewhere in that range. I could be totally wrong on that. It's been a couple weeks now. But anyways, we drew, well, actually we had 31 cars because I went out 28th for qualifying out of 31 cars. And I was able to lay down 4th quick, going out really late, which I was super happy with that. And they lined us up heads up, kind of like the Outlaws do. So I rolled off from the pole of the 4th heat race. Top 2 went to the dash, so I was able to get out front, win the heat race. And so put us into the redraw. And the way they did the redraw, I really liked the way they did it. Was the winners drew 1 through 4, and second place drew 5th through 8. So you weren't drawing through the whole 1 through 8.
Yeah.
They split it up. And so I was the last one to draw because I was the 4th heat race, and the 4 was the only thing left. So still put a second row outside.
That's still good, though.
Which I was completely fine with.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. There's a lot of pressure starting on the front row sometimes,
Yeah.
So I kind of watch everybody what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And so I was okay with that. And so
It's a lot of pressure you get out there because you might know where you need to be, but when at least when you're following somebody, you can kind of judge.
We'll talk about that in a minute here for my second half of my weekend recap. And so, we rolled off 4th, the Queens Royal, which I was really pumped about. It's a big show, especially for my car owner. That's his racetrack and stuff like that. And so rolled off 4th, 35 laps, and rolled around in 4th for a little while. And Gage Montgomery and Howard Moore kind of got together a little bit and got Howard a little upset. And I was able to get around Howard, get into 3rd. And we rode like that for a while. And we got to a lap car, and Gage Montgomery, which is 2nd, actually got kind of a little sideways in front of me. I kind of went to the top to avoid it. Well, it started laying rubber by that point, and I got up out of the rubber. Howard got back by me, so I fell back to 4th. We were racing with that same lap car, and I was able to get back by Howard again. And we paced. We paced pretty good in open track. We was kind of gapped a little bit, but once we got in traffic, we was all able to race pretty decently for it being rubber down and stuff.
Yeah, y'all were actually pretty close.
Yeah, and so ended up finishing 3rd. So I was super happy to finish on the podium for my team, and that's their big race of the year. And last year, my first time there, I finished 4th. So to come back and put it on the podium, I feel good about that. It was a really solid night. And of course, like we were talking about Brian Bell earlier, he come in crew chief for me, and he had it dialed in from the first lap. We were really good. We made a little shock change before qualifying that we hadn't been running. We took it off originally at the beginning of the year. We put it back on for this qualifying session. It was a different race car. I could run that thing as hard as I wanted to. I was like, this is what it's supposed to feel like. And so it was really nice it's a good confidence booster. And
I was going to ask you if you had all the shocks on the right corner.
Yeah, we got them all on the right corner.
You got them on the right corner.
Different race cars. So, ended up the podium at the Queens Royal, which is our little small team. I'm super pumped and happy about that. And we actually...
Bubba Jones thinks he's funny. Look at it. He says, so y'all playing the color coordinator, that just happened. For real. And then them two nitwits, ain't they cute? I think we are. I think we are cute.
Yeah. So we got pretty nice confidence booster. We're going into the Power Eye weekend at Granite City on Friday and Benton on Saturday. So I'm pretty excited about doing that. And so actually this weekend we went and raced 2 days with the USCS. The first night was in Moulton, Alabama. That was the first time we've been back there in a long. I raced there in 2007. It'd been shut down. Come back. They put a wall around it, made it race really nice. They cleaned it up a lot. It was really different type of racetrack, and got a good draws, which it could work out, couldn't work out for you. Started on the pole of the heat race, was able to win the heat, was able to get in the dash, the last spot in the dash. I was last one to draw again. Well, the 2 was left in there this time, so that was nice.
Yeah.
So I started on the front row outside, of the dash, got out front in the dash, and I mean, really was fast. Like I felt really, really good about where we were heading. So we got rolling to the feature. Of course, I'm rolling from the pole, and we get out front and feels really solid for most of the race. And we're ripping the wall down to 1 and 2, and the top is good, still good in 3 and 4, but it kind of crowns off on that end, so you're not all the way up there, but you're kind of, just kind of right on the edge of the moisture. And we were rolling really good, and we started getting to lap traffic, and I noticed that I'm not able to lap cars very good anymore. I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble now, because I'm ripping the top, I'm lapping them, and I start stalling out. So then I start searching, trying to move around. Like 1 and 2, I could still rip the wall, but 3 and 4, I was struggling real bad. So I start moving down, trying to find some rubber somewhere, and that's just where it kind of just went to hell for me. I just started sliding around and couldn't find it. Got past, Dale passed me on the bottom, Lance Moss passed me on the top, and caution comes out. I'm in third, and I'm like, screw it, I'm just going to rip the top again. So I start ripping the top, and Derek gets by me. Well, I worked the top good enough where I get back by him, and I'm kind of pacing the first 2 cars. They're not just checking out. We're staying pretty close. So then I hit the wall finally in 1 and 2, and then I just started really panicking and moving down and slipping around. Ended up finishing 6th, which was really disappointing at how the night started to where it finished, and it really sucked, honestly. And so it just was what it was. It wasn't good enough at the end of the race. We were good for 18 laps and just wasn't good enough at the end. And honestly, I don't even know what I would do different. Is maybe put a newer right rear on there. We had a little bit of an older tire on there. I think we had a new right rear. Maybe it held up a little better.
I was going to ask you, you said tires sealed over, you think, after that caution?
I was already floundering at that point. I just think it was because already the blocks were a little bit wore down on them. It wasn't feathered or nothing, but the blocks weren't real thick. And, but we ran that tire all night, and it's kind of like hard to go away from it, at that point. But hindsight, which is easy to say, probably should have, we did put a better tire on the mule. I looked at it, I was like, man, we might have put that tire on, but I second guessed myself and didn't do it, and got too complacent with that, and I think it just stopped firing like around 15, 16, 17 laps. I could tell myself I was starting to die out. And
well, that's just like when we was at Atwood. I was telling you, we had that new tire on for the feature, and that was the first time we put a new tire on that night. And dude, when it fired off, I could tell significantly the car was that much better. And then when we popped it, because we got caught up in that wreck with Connor, we had to put the old tire back on, and then having to start in the back, and then have a tire that's old and had several heat cycles through it. It makes a big difference. So I can imagine what. So I know what you're feeling. I know how you feel.
Followed that disappointment up. We went to Talladega short track on Saturday, and the night just started off awful. We go to crank the car, get engine heat. If I try to just do my normal thing, pull in, and I go to pull the wing back, just to check everything. I go to pull the wing back, and it's just like barely moving, and the steering's like really hard. I'm like, oh my God. So I was like, let it sit for a second. Turn the wheel, feels good, feels fine. Pull the lever, the steering hardens up, the slider starts going super slow. And I'm like, oh my God. And so we were like feeling of it, and I was like sitting here is normal, and we push it off again. So I drive through the pits. I'm like, it don't feel bad when I do this. And so we go out to hot lap, and as soon as I get on the gas, it's hard, and it's putting the pressure to it. And so I was like, shit. So
did y'all check how much fluid was in it before?
Yeah, it had plenty of fluid in it. Yeah, and so we come in, I was like, still doing it. So we change pump, go back out for the heat race. I stand on it. I start second row inside the heat race, and we're going to line up. So I just like check it out, and it's hard and it's sketchy. So I just pulled off. I was like, I'm not tearing this thing up or hurting myself. Like I'm not going to run the car like I'm supposed to. Some might. Call me a chicken, whatever, but I'm just not going to do that.
Well, I mean, to me, you're driving somebody else's stuff too. You don't want to tear it up being silly.
I don't want to hurt myself in the process. So I pulled off. We come back, and we think it's probably it's in the sector. And so we don't have another sector with us. So, but then we're thinking, well, the wing slider is causing some of the issues. We just took the wing slider off. Maybe there's some issue with that. We took the wing slider off with the feature and put like this little manual deal on there, and went out there for the feature, and started 22nd, and it felt pretty fine when the track was slick and slow. I was like, I can't really tell. It doesn't feel crazy. And I got up to like 15th or 14th and started laying rubber. So we started going a little harder, and I could feel it again. And finally, I was just like, screw this. Like, I'm about to tear this thing up or hurt myself. Or I was just missing the bottom and slip sliding around and burning tires up. I just pulled in, and it was a DNF, and just it made for a sucky night to begin with. The racing part made the night even worse because Talladega Short Track just fumbled the bag like so bad. They had a badass crowd, especially for a USCA show. Like that's late model country.
Yeah, right.
You know, they had a badass crowd for that. There's, you know, people in the pits. Well, now when you pull into Talladega, people come in from both ways, and then it funnels down into one driveway that has this overhead, so you can't go veer off. There's a ditch. You can't veer off the driveway. You have to come through this one little gate. So when we get there at like 5 o'clock, Tony's been there for a little while. We get there about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and there's lines both ways, like as far as you can see.
Wow.
So we were just in our vehicle. So we turned into like the pit or the stand entrance, and there's another little cut through. You can cut through and then go park up by the pit shack and sign in. So we do that. We sign in. We go to the driver's meeting. And Pete's talking to us at driver's like, man, there's usually a whole lot more cars here than normal. And this is probably 6:30 at this point. And so we do our driver's meeting. They come up to us. We're supposed to start at 7 o'clock. We done engine heat and all this stuff. And it's supposed to start at 7 o'clock. They're like, oh, we're actually going to push it back to about 7:30. There's still a 1.5 mile long line on each side of trailers and cars trying to get in to the pits.
Wow.
Well, 7:30 turns into 8 o'clock, and they finally we just had to start at some point. Like there were still trailers pulling in when we start like going to hot lap, which I mean, I guess you could tell the drivers, well, you know, it's difficult to get in here, so get here early, or you know, or whatever. But
I was gonna say, did everybody forget that they have a watch? Like, why was everybody running so late?
I don't think everybody was running late. They kind of got there their normal times, I guess, and everybody was just coming to race. Because there was another thing that had a big issue with this thing is they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, then they have like 80 classes?
8 classes and 160 cars. Why? Can somebody tell me why we're doing this?
Hang on. Think about it. Who is this? What are we running?
I mean, well, I don't even think Pete's running this though. I think this is the Talladega show here. But even so, like you had an awesome crowd. We don't have to keep making money on the back gate on special shows.
Yeah.
We don't have to keep doing this all the time. Every time we go here, 8 damn classes, 21 cars, 20 cars, 16 cars, 30 cars, 16, 21, 22, and 12. Why?
Man.
It's dumb.
What time was it over? What time did y'all actually get out?
We stayed at a hotel an hour away from the track. And after a $75 Bucky stop, it was 2:15 when we got to the hotel. Yeah. And they were still racing when we left.
That's what I'm talking about. What time did it end? You don't know?
I don't know. Probably 4 o'clock.
Wow.
I mean, it makes no sense. Like, if you want to have some back gate money, okay, you have the sprint cars. Get your CURSA modifieds. That's 30 cars. Your 602 late model sportsman, 20 cars. And do your CURSA dirt late models, 20 cars. That's a shit ton of cars for a show. You don't have to have everything else thrown in here.
Yeah.
Try to make your back gate money when you got a good crowd up there as it is.
So who makes the decision, I guess? So that's something I'd like to know is who actually makes the decision? Because I know every time we run a USCS race, there always tends to be 5 or more classes.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are that many classes, but it really just depends on who's operating the show. I think it was a Talladega show. I really don't know who's running that event. But whoever's running the event, I'm sorry, but that's dumb. It's just dumb. You shoot yourself in the foot. Like, if you're a fan in the stands, do you want to come back for that? I mean, maybe some will. But I wouldn't want to. Hell no. Not have to sit there 1 a.m. to watch the sprint cars race, and we still got 6 more classes left. Man, a lot of people left after that, but still, like, it just made no sense.
Well, I guess as long as you got your main event, like if everybody's there to see the sprint cars, if you've got it as the second or third class or whatever, run that at a decent time, then I guess by all means, if you want to stick around for the rest of it, then stick around for the rest of it.
Another thing is the track goes to shit, and we wear the track out, and we have a rubber, which the finish ended up being good.
Yeah,
but you burned up all your tires, and the racing was pretty much first and second. Yeah. You couldn't go nowhere. It's like I've seen badass Talladega tracks when we've had good surfaces. Like it'll build a cushion up in 1 and 2. They built this little berm up in 3 and 4 where you can kind of rip it and race.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because I've heard you and Tucker and a couple other people. I've never been to the place, but I've heard several people that brag about how good the racetrack's gotten in the last.
Yeah, it's been a lot better
years.
since they put the wall up and stuff. But when you have 160 cars, I mean, there's only so much you can do. They watered the hell out of it, and you know, it made no sense to me. Like I was so like, there's no reason I should be getting back to the hotel at 2 in the morning when I'm in 45 minutes, 50 minutes away. Like it's just dumb. Yeah, we got started late, and they also another thing they didn't even run heat races for these other cars. They did hot lap qualifying for every class,
Really?
except for ours.
Really,
But it was a disaster. Like we have our radios in, we're sitting there, they're calling us, hey, we're next. There's like 21 late models that got to go in front of us. So we can kind of hear how the process is going.
Yeah.
They're going 4 at a time, and you get like 5 laps total, I think. 4 laps. You get 4 laps. Well, so they start ripping around. Well, then somebody spins out. All right, we got to check and see who all got their laps and who I owe laps. Okay, you and you got your laps. Pull off. You and you stay out. And like it takes an hour to do 4 cars, it felt like. Like it would have been quicker just to send 2 out there, and we could just keep up with the laps easier. 2 on, 2 off. Come on, let's go. We're like, all right, hang on, let me see who's got their laps. And they're just riding around. All right, you and you, come on, you and you don't. And the hot lap qualifying, I was like, that's my thing. I was like, well, we're starting late, but they're hot lap qualifying, so that'll speed everything up.
and
There'll be no heat races. We're third feature. Like that'll help speed the process up.
Yeah.
No, it was absolute. I think took even longer doing it that way.
Is this the first time they've done it this way though?
No, they usually do it that way.
They usually do it this way every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure every time we go there, all the other classes just run hot lap qualifying.
Really?
And we run heats and stuff all in the middle of all that stuff going on.
See, and maybe it's just me because I feel like sometimes I can be an 80-year-old in a 29-year-old's body, but I'm not a fan of sitting there at the racetrack, even if it's me. I remember sitting on the grid to go out for a feature at 1 a.m. at I-30 one night.
Yeah.
And I love racing probably more than anybody could ever imagine, but I can remember sitting there going, man, I just want to go to bed. I don't really want to do this right now.
Yeah, I mean,
so I can imagine being a fan.
We did our hot laps, and me and Tracy just sit on the mule, just sitting there talking, just waiting, and they're lined up like outside turn 1 or 3 and 4 where you go on. They're lined up for as far as you can see, and they're trying to run them through, but you got somebody spin out, and okay, well, we got to wait and see who's got their laps, who don't have their laps, and it's just not a smooth process.
Yeah.
And it's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense. You don't have to have 160 cars. Like every time we go there, it's that away. Just like we went to Moulton's Friday night. They're like, we run a quick show. You'll be out of here by 9 o'clock. Well, then they have 6 classes, and we were ready every time. Like they told us, be ready. You need to be in the middle lane, be ready. We're ready every single time. Like there was no issues. Like the way they would call it, the first heat was sitting on the grid, and the second heat and third heat, most of the cars were already up there. They told we were ready. They wanted us to actually push off from the middle chute onto the track, but that was really dangerous. So they're like, no, we just need to push us out here on the track. But we would push off, and she would come on the radio and be like, all right, come on, we need to get lined up. We would line up, get going. We didn't have any reds all night. We had 1 caution in the feature. I don't think any of the heats had a caution that I can remember. It's like we ran our stuff pretty fast. Yeah. We were still 12:45 getting out of there and getting done and stuff. And it's just, that's one big problem.
Going over 3 hours that's pretty rough.
And they both had great crowds. Both tracks did. And Talladega is just the worst. Like 8 classes is just stupid. It makes no sense.
I feel like me specifically, I feel like I've gotten a little bit spoiled because I've run a lot more 410 stuff in the last couple of years. So like I can remember the night that we won Jacksonville, and I think it was only 2 classes that ran that night. It was us and the midgets. And I remember we won the feature. We were serviced. It was 9 o'clock. And Dad was like, well, why don't we just service tonight? It's early. Yeah. So we just serviced everything. And I remember I set my phone up on the air breather of the car, on the dash of the car, and I had the ASCS races on, and they were running heat races. So I every time we run 410 race, we get pretty spoiled because they run a good show. I don't care if it's MOA, Power Eye, they all seem to do really well.
Yeah, and they also like, especially you go to Peevely, like they start earlier. Like we went to like Talladega, they were going to start at 7:30 with 160 cars. Tell me how you think that's going to go?
Yeah.
Disaster.
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah.
And they got to do something with their pit entrance. Like I know Ronnie talked about it in here before when he was on here, like adjusting to your circumstances. Like, there's a massive line out here. Either get your people out of the pit box, out of the little gate, and move them forward, because there's a long driveway past the pit gate that you drive down to get into the pit area. So they could have walked out, set up somewhere else so we could get more trailers into the parking lot and out of the road and make it maybe flow better. But we just stayed to our one little process here. And it was just stacked up forever. He couldn't get in the pits, couldn't get in there. And so, it just didn't adjust to, the circumstances you had going on. And it's frustrating. Like, it makes no sense. It's frustrating to just not have any adjustments. Like, I know we're not supposed to bash racetracks, but I can only take so much before it just pisses me off and it makes no sense.
No, I get it. I get it. And it can add up, just like the Clay Hill thing. Like, I was thinking about this earlier before we got here, because I knew you had sent in the text in the group text, like, oh, I'm on, I'm going to bring it tonight or something.
Yeah.
And talk about the racetrack, and it got me to thinking. I'm like, well, I kind of bash Clay Hill. I don't want to bash anybody. I don't want to bash a racetrack, but at the same time, I want the product to be good for fans to want to come back. Because if I'm a fan at Clay Hill and I watched what I watched, I don't want to come back.
Those are like, what do they say? Definition of insanities.
Doing the same thing over and over
different
again.
Results or whatever. And it's just like, when you watch it so many times, you're like, well, this is dumb. Like, why? That's why I think that's some of the reason why when we go to that big late model show, when they do the way races for the What About the Late Models, like the first year we did it. The first year we did, we had like 40 cars, and they raced What About the Late Models, us, and they also ran modified. So it's like, for what? Like, you've already got 50 late models, and we had 40 something cars. Well, then the next year we only had 15 show up.
Yeah.
And so it's just, I don't know, it's just frustrating to go and know that track can race really badass, but when you have 160 cars, you kind of know what the end result's going to be.
Yeah.
There's only so much it's going to be able to take. So
yeah. Well, to me, the late models and the modifieds don't really complement the racetrack. Like, when you've got all those classes together, well, then you're going to hurt one or the other. You know what I mean? Like, one.
Yeah, which I'm sure the late model and stuff probably loved it.
Yeah, late models probably love it fine, but it hurts the sprint cars.
Or if you want to do 8 classes, and do your normal deal, okay, well then we're going to hot lap first. You do 2 sessions. We'll come back and heat race. You do another session, which it takes a hot minute to get through one. We'll do our dash, or we'll cancel the dash and we'll go straight into the feature. And then after our feature, y'all can continue hot lap qualifying, whatever. And maybe we can be done by 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30, something a little more reasonable. That's if you want to run 8 classes, well, let's do it that way then. Because like, that's just not fun to go. I mean, maybe if you win or you have a good night, maybe I have a different opinion on it. Oh no, I'll still say it's stupid, but I won't hate it as much.
Yeah.
But you go over there and you have a shitty night, well then that just compounds all that on top of each other.
No,
so I don't know, it's just frustrating. Like, I appreciate Talladega having us there. They usually have a really good surface. They had some situations going on that you just gotta try to adapt to. And let's just cut out the 8 classes. Get it to 4. Get your biggest 4 that you had last time, or your biggest 3 that you had last time, and add us in and make it 4 total, and let's call it good. That's all you need. You don't need all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's my rant.
Yeah.
And, I'll probably never be allowed back to Talladega
Are you
short
okay?
track again.
You better. You feel better? Because I mean, the group text, I knew it was coming. I knew something was.
I do
fixing
feel
up.
better. Yes, I do. Maybe I won't. They won't let me in the gates next time. Maybe, but if you don't want me to, just let me know before I get there, please. So
Or they may hire you to go in there and start working the gates.
That's
Or,
right. Why don't you go and work this
why don't you
racetrack?
just come help us out?
Yeah.
No, I'm definitely with you. I just I'm not a fan of more than 3 classes. I'm just not. I don't care who it is, who's running what. I think 3 classes is all there ever should be. Just because I think anything over that's really just unnecessary, in my opinion.
Yeah, so it's like, even this is different track. Like, when we go to the Pine Ridge, we went to Pine Ridge track. Like, they have a badass crowd there. They don't get to see the sprint cars, so like, there's a badass crowd, but we have 6 classes running, 7 classes running. It's like,
I saw Ricky Holder had said that he said that stands were half empty during the feature. Basically, I'm assuming he means the 360 feature. So all those people had already gotten
Yeah, I mean,
basically
yeah,
tired of it and was ready to go home.
I had a great view from the infield for me watch. So I mean, there was still a decent little crowd, but it wasn't full like
Yeah,
it was
when you got
at the
there.
beginning of the night.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then, like you said, how many of those people are going to come back?
yeah, like that makes you not want to come back. It
Yeah.
just makes
To
no
me,
sense.
if I'm running the show, you know, I've seen Brad McCarver and Jeremy and all of them after the races. You know how they sit down there at the table after the races are over and they'll sit around and talk, and they look give out, and
Yeah.
that's and it's not 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning either. A lot of times, and so I can only imagine. Being an official or someone that's running the show, and it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning, you're like, why are we doing this to
Yeah, this
ourselves?
makes no
So
sense.
I don't know why you'd want to do it. And then you got people that want to get up and go to church on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
They leave and go home, or if they got their kids, they don't want their kids staying out all
Yeah.
night. And I never have understood that
It's like
that mindset.
I understand if you have your local Saturday night, the stands probably aren't going to look that great. If you want to pack 8 classes in there, then I get it. I totally get it. But, if you got a special coming through, you don't have to have all that stuff going on. It never works out. It doesn't help your crowd, doesn't help your product. Like,
Yeah.
I think it hurts you in the end. And I get it. Tracks are struggling. I understand. But I think, you end up shooting yourself in the foot in the long run
Yeah.
with return customers.
Well, you're talking about
Especially for a special event.
everybody's struggling. So again, if you're a fan and you spent this money to go, and it's 1 o'clock and you haven't seen the sprint cars yet, you're like, I don't know that I want to come
Yeah.
back. I don't know that I want to sit here all night. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you just need to take a nap late in the day and then show up later in the night. I don't know. I don't have an answer.
I know it killed my son. I mean, we had to get up and drive home, but I was shot by the time I got home Sunday night. It was just exhausting, but yeah, my opinion, if we want to do it again, let's just cut out all the other stuff and take your biggest 3 you had there and let's put on a good show for everybody. Like have good races all the way through, and I think that'll help. That has a better chance of a return customer coming back, maybe even for a local show, if you put on a decent product instead of keeping everybody out all night. But
Well,
I feel better and I'm done with it.
I'll say quality over quantity. Every time you want people to come back, you want there to be a good show, and like you said, if you've got all these classes, well, then you're killing the racetrack overall, and so then the racetrack's not any good. So then the races aren't any good, and I know that Dale got Derek there at the end but it rarely happens on a rubber down racetrack where you have a good finish, and actually legitimately good finish. What happened there? How do you think? How did Dale get just traffic, or I didn't get to see it.
He did get him in traffic, but then the yellow come out. It was probably 5 or 6 to go, and I really couldn't see it from my vantage point. But I did watch the video back, and it looked like Derek entered kind of normally, like he was doing every other lap. But then, like through the center, it was kind of like he didn't get in low enough, and he just started skating. He missed it, and Dale just kind of nailed the rubber and drove under in there coming off the 4 there.
See, I didn't see the video. But I saw a picture, and it looked like Dale was like up here, out like on the top or something. But maybe it was an older picture.
They were entering kind of high and then working their way down. Like I could see Derek down the back straightaway. His car got to driving real hard down the back straightaway towards the end. So I don't know if that affected how he entered the corner there. But yeah, they both kind of got in the same, and his through the center looked like it didn't get down enough through the center there, and it kind of just started washing. And, Dale hit the rubber perfectly there on the exit. So
you don't hardly ever snooker Derek. Derek's usually not one you snooker.
Not in the slicker or the rubber.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
He's
doesn't happen.
He's usually the king when it comes to that kind of racetrack. And but good for Dale. Dale's won like 10 races this year or something crazy.
I think I saw 9 earlier. I think it was 9.
Okay, I thought it was 10, but either way, he's been killing it this year. Want to do a quick shout out, and I don't know if you watched this at all, but Chase Howard run the ARCA race.
Yeah, I saw. I saw Ronnie posting stuff on his Facebook about it. That's kind of the clips I seen, and people were posting screenshots from the race and stuff. I didn't get to actually watch it, but
I tried to watch it. So, like I said, I've been trying to spend more time with Caden and Spencer this week, but I had the race up on my phone, and Spencer wanted to go jump on a trampoline. So I was out there jumping on trampoline, holding the phone. I'd watch about every other lap or something like that. And we was out there playing on the playground and
Yeah.
stuff. So, but I did watch most of it. And Chase, he kind of hung around in 11th, 10th, pretty much most of the race. He hung around there for most of the race. Wasn't really a whole lot going on. Then about the last, I don't know, 10, 20 laps, it was chaos. Stuff started happening. You had people spinning and people just getting antsy. About the first 11 cars was really running away with the whole race. And then, you know, and then they were all still jumbled up together. Wasn't really getting far away from each other. And I don't know, just chaos started happening and they started having a couple cautions. And then I look up and Chase is 4th.
Yeah, that's what I read earlier. Maybe Susie had posted that. I guess he was in 4th, but they only have the scoring loop at the line, so they had to go back to the last lap. So I guess that put him back to 2 positions or something like that.
See, I wasn't sure. So like, and there goes Perky. We're talking stock car stuff. But whenever I watch any of the ARCA stuff or the NASCAR stuff, you know, they have the scoring loops all throughout the racetrack. So I hadn't heard an explanation.
I guess it being the dirt track, they probably.
I guess being dirt track, they didn't have
all
it.
that stuff
But
laid out.
I just in my head, I just assumed, well, they went back to the last scoring loop, and at the time of the caution, that was when Chase was 6th.
They basically just did like dirt racing. They didn't
went back a
complete
lap.
laps. They just went back a lap because you know the dirt track's probably not set up with all the loops.
Yeah, probably not.
And things like
I would
that.
assume not.
So that's what happened with that. But I did see the video, the team manager or somebody, they were doing a video outside of Cracker Barrel, and they said that was their first top 10 and their first finish on the lead
wasn't
lap.
it like their best finish ever or something like
Their
that?
first top 10 and their first time to finish on the lead lap. So I mean that's pretty cool
Yeah.
for him and for them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
And never sat in a stock car. As far as I know, I don't think he's ever drove anything on the dirt outside of a sprint car. Is that right?
yeah, man,
I think that's
much
pretty.
all
I think
know
that's
of.
pretty much all he's ever done. I don't think he's ever drove a late model or stock car or
I
nothing.
think
So
it's pretty much all sprint car stuff, and so maybe that was good enough to he can get up some more funding to do another one, or maybe they had liked it good enough to where they might try to put up some more funding.
If that was the best finish you've ever gotten, I would think that was enough to want
try
you
to work up some money on my own and get him back in.
Yeah,
there.
I would assume that would be enough to make you want to put him back in, and I hope he does. He's one of the here's Susie's. DeCoin only has one scoring loop with stuff. Okay, that's what it was. To me, Chase is one of the good guys. You know what? It's not like I talk to him just a bunch, but he seems like pretty humble. He don't say a lot. He seems pretty humble, and I have a lot of respect for him, and I'm really glad he got that chance. I think it's pretty cool, and I haven't watched an ARCA race. I think the only ARCA race I watched this year was when
the only reason why I would watch.
That was why I watched it, was because he was there, and I think the only other ARCA race I watched this year was when Cletus McFarland was at Daytona or Talladega, or whichever one. I think that's the only other reason I even watched those. But so I was excited to watch it, and they talked about him. They even brought him up a couple times and talked about how good he was doing, and he got up there and got past that Gibbs car, one of the Gibbs cars there at one time.
I saw a video of it. He was in front of one of the Gibbs cars. Sure is. I'll be honest, like I was kind of really skeptical because in the ARCA, it's basically like Venturini and Gibbs are like the Keith Coons of it. And if you don't have one of those, you just kind of flounder around.
You're just out to lunch.
Whatever happens, you know. And I saw he finished 7th. I was like, well, that's damn good. And then to hear the team explain, like that was their first, like I said, their first top 10, the first time on the lead laps. Like, well, hopefully that's good enough to where maybe you'll get an asphalt chance at it next time. So you can't just say, well, it was the dirt. How all that stuff goes.
Yeah.
And, I'd like to see him get a chance on the asphalt. Maybe, like I said, maybe that was good enough to where they'll try to get their own funding, or somebody will give them some funding, or something like that. So.
Well, I don't know how his deal came about, but all that stuff is by ride. Xfinity, the trucks, even
95% of racing is now.
All that kind of stuff is by ride. Unless you're going to your local dirt tracks and watching people bring their own stuff, it's not very many people that bring their own stuff and
Yeah.
race their own stuff anymore. But you know, you hear about it all the time. Like even Kyle Busch kind of surprised me. A lot of those guys have been a lot more vocal nowadays.
Mhm.
Even he, while he owned the truck team, was talking about how it's all just by ride anymore.
Mhm.
So I do hope though that he can get some more chances, and
Yeah, so-
I'd be real anxious to see how he could do it. You know, somewhere like a Bristol or I don't know if they run Dover. I don't know the ARCA schedule. I don't know where they go.
They
but
mostly do like their own tracks most of the time. They sometimes they're there with NASCAR, but mostly be like a Salem
mhm.
or there's those little short tracks all through the center of the country. They
Wait a
usually
minute. How
it.
do you know this?
Well, I don't know why.
I thought you didn't like stock car racing.
Well, I don't like stock car racing, but I did search like ARCA or something on. Maybe I was looking for the highlights or something, and I searched ARCA, and it popped
Let's
up on
see.
YouTube. All these little small tracks they were running
Let's just look.
throughout the country. Or no, there was a track that the Chaz was at, Meridian Speedway in Idaho, and they had it was an asphalt track, and they had an ARCA race there, and it was this little small, local looking track or whatever.
Yeah. I told him last year, you know, he's been going to several NASCAR races. He went to the Coliseum Chaz or whatever. I told him, I said, it ain't going to be long. We're going to see you in a suit and tie. You're going to be up in the booth calling NASCAR races, talking all this crap about NASCAR all these years. And here you are. You're going to be announcing at one of them.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
You don't think? Don't ever say never.
He needs something to.
Don't
Well,
ever.
I guess. Well, no, he doesn't like to. He doesn't do much selling out for money, so it wouldn't matter.
No.
They offered a bunch of money.
All right, I pulled up the schedules. So they actually run quite a bit. They run Daytona, Phoenix, Talladega, Kansas, Charlotte, Michigan,
Maybe they do more than that.
Dover, IRP, which I love that place. That's
Yeah,
actually a
that'd
really
be
good
one
racetrack.
to do that.
Iowa, Watkins Glen. If I had to pick a road course, I'd go Watkins Glen. And Bristol and Kansas. Those are the NASCAR tracks. But he could probably go like Berlin, Elko.
Ooh, Elko would be a good one.
Elko would be a really good one. Madison, I don't think I know that one. Salem's a good one, and Toledo's another good one.
Yeah.
So those would be some good ones. I don't know. I really hope he gets some more chances though.
Yep, time will tell. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
we need to start a GoFundMe, I guess, so we can get him another ride. You got to pay to drive for Brennan Cummins. You got to pay to drive for someone. Yeah, Brennan. I tell you what, I've got a '84 car back here for $5,000 a night, and plus paying for damages. You can drive it. We'll go to Riverside, or we'll go run
Yes, what's that?
whatever you want, I guess.
About 95% of them are that away for
Yeah,
the most part. But
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully, like I said, hopefully that was good enough to where he can get some more funding. They can find some more funding. He can do it a couple more times and maybe be one of the next ones. I hate to say go to NASCAR, but that's what maybe that's what he wants to do.
Well, you know, I think he's always said like he likes the non-wing stuff better. So
Mhm.
maybe that's why he liked the stock car so much. It was didn't have a
Slide
wing on it.
around.
He could slide around a
I
little
mean,
bit. So maybe that's why.
That's not crazy to think. I mean, that's
Yeah.
not a lot of downforce with it. And
Yeah, I'm anxious to ask him questions about it because
we'll have to get
I've
him
always
on,
wanted
we'll have to
to.
get him on the next one and get him to come talk about it.
Heck yeah.
He might be going to run USAC this weekend too. I would think he's going to go run. Maybe no.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
'cause-
I'm sure Susie can tell us.
USAC's at Lucas Oil coming up, and he almost won the Hocket last year, or he led some laps at the Hocket and
Mhm.
blew the engine. He had a pretty nice lead. So I know the USAC's coming up at Lucas Oil, and I would hope he's going to go take a non-wing car up there for that.
Okay. All right. So you're saying USAC goes, but it's not the Hocket.
Yeah, the
Two
Hocket's
separate shows.
Yeah.
Okay, I was
They
about
got
to say, 'cause-
USAC, yeah, they got USAC coming up. Maybe this weekend.
Okay,
maybe
I
next
was-
weekend.
I was gonna say because isn't
The Hocket comes up at the end of September. It's like the 18th through the 20th.
yeah, I was gonna say because I thought the Hocket had War. Is War still still a thing, right?
It's basically Power
Power
Eye
Eye now?
Power
Okay.
Eye War and Power Eye sprint cars.
Susie said he's not running USAC. Well, apparently he needs to go if
That makes no sense.
if he ran so good, he might need to go. I'm one to talk. My car's parked, so I can't say anything. But all right, real quick mention. I thought this was just really neat, and I just wanted to bring it up because I'm sure that most people already know about it. But Tony Stewart won the regular season championship in Top Fuel in his first season in a Top Fuel car. How cool is that? I thought that was pretty cool.
There's some speculation that makes him the GOAT now.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
Well, he kind of is.
I mean, can say,
What does he not want
I mean, I guess some people would say, well, you just hold it in a straight line and blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I thought it was pretty awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
to never do that before. It took him about, 2 years? Last year was his first year, so it's his second year doing it.
Yeah.
And to go.
Well, he didn't run Top Fuel last year. What? I don't know anything about.
Well, he
drag
did. He
racing.
ran Top Fuel last year. The year before, he was doing the alcohol thing.
Oh, was
And
it?
then his wife got pregnant.
Okay.
So last year was his first year.
I thought this was his first year
doing it. This was his
in
second.
the Top Fuel car.
No, he did Top Fuel.
He did Top Fuel last year, so it was the, what do they call it? Is it the alcohol? I don't know. Alcohol
That's
cars
what he
or whatever?
started in the last couple of years. He did the alcohol.
Yeah.
Funny cars.
Yeah. See, I don't watch it. I don't keep up with it enough. But I just thought that was pretty cool
Yeah,
because
that's
he's
cool.
won in literally everything he's ever sat in. Whether dirt, pavement, road course, oval, doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Going in a straight line, which somebody I would like to bring on at some point is Clay Milliken, just because I've got questions that I'd like to ask him, and he is a local boy, so I'd like to ask him about that experience. I know I've heard him talk about like taking off. It feels like a crash, like a car crash every time he just
you can
takes off.
You watch the in-car cameras
Mhm.
when they throw them shoots. It's like you hit the wall head on.
Yeah.
Head sling forward.
And I mean, this is a Let Her Eat podcast, so I can't imagine any more letting it eat than that. You know what I mean? To go 300 miles an hour in what, 3.5 seconds in a quarter mile or whatever it is.
Ripping for sure.
Yeah, so I'd definitely like to talk to him sometime. Another quick mention I wanted to make was we had another driver get injured due to he had back injuries at Attica. Bobby Elliott was airlifted from Attica.
Did you see the crash?
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen way worse, but just the way the thing lands
Yeah.
is the biggest deal. Like we blow the arms off of them, and then it just does that nose stand, does that slow land, and it just goes straight on the frame, and that's where you see most of them happen at. And yeah, it's just another. It's been a rough 2-3 months for injuries. Period.
I was
in
gonna
sprint
say
cars.
this is it keeps happening, and I think I was reading about, and I thought it was the same guy, but I was reading about another injury. Right, like when I sat
Yeah, I
down
saw,
to
I
come
think it
in
was like
here.
a 305 guy or somebody in Pennsylvania
Maybe.
got hurt recently.
Yeah, I was just scrolling through when you come in the door. We were getting ready to get started, and I saw of another one. But what do you think? So we've talked about it a little bit, but like, what's so different? Like, why is it just a fluke thing? Why are we having so many more injuries
Yeah, I mean,
now?
It does. I
Or
feel
is
like
it just? Are we just hearing about it more?
I think you're more connected to it all now than you have been in the past. But I do think it kind of comes in waves too. Like you have these things kind of compound each other. But when you think about, knock on wood, you think about it, we have thousands of people that race every weekend, and you have one or two that get injured.
Yeah,
And so when you put it into perspective like that, you think it doesn't seem quite as crazy. But then when it starts happening, I think we had a lot of bigger name drivers get hurt this year too.
yeah,
Which
true.
kind of puts it front and
And-
center on the stage more than it would.
Yeah, and like
you know,
3 or
anybody
4 of them
else.
was in the same
Yeah,
weekend.
the same like Eldora. It all happened
Yeah.
back to back to back, and so it kind of put a bigger spotlight on it.
Mhm.
Then if you have your local guys get hurt and stuff like that, you don't get that much of attention from it. So I think just the internet spotlight has made it shine a lot brighter. And
Yeah.
but I mean, it's definitely an issue with the way these cars are landing. With them blowing the arms out and just landing on the frame rails is definitely an issue that needs to be looked at. But you got the Chasm and you got the XC systems that are out, which most people that have had them and crashed them, like you can't tell a difference. But you talk, like I remember Dominic Scelzi going off about it, saying it's not right. You're not supposed to. Your seat's not supposed to move. Which it sounds. It sounds like, oh, your seat's moving. Well, they show like on the video with the Chasm, they show it moving like really far. But when you're in the car and you have your weight on it, it doesn't. I mean, it moves this much, enough to like absorb a little bit. The XC system's kind of the same way. Got those little poly things that sit on the bar. It just kind of hovers, and from Dale says, like you don't even really feel the vibration in the seat anymore with those on there. Which that's what he originally started with, handlebars on motocross. It takes the vibration out of the handlebars. So Dale says like it takes the vibration out of the seat and stuff. He's crashed with it a couple times, and like the seat doesn't just fly up around in the air. Like it moves a little bit, enough to absorb some of the blow.
Yeah.
And like if you're in the car tight enough and it moves, you know, this much, your seatbelts aren't going to go loosening and flying
Yeah,
off.
because that's the argument that I've been hearing is like, I don't want my seat to move because if the seat starts moving, it can loosen the belts and throw you out.
It's like
you
I
know?
said, they've done a bunch of testing. Like they've had dummy testing and they've had live car crashing testing, and like nobody's belts goes flying off. And you have big name like Gravel, Macedo, they run the Chasm system. You got I've seen Bill Baylog, Sam Haferteef are on the XC, Dale's on the XC system, and so I mean, you know, they're starting to become more popular. I mean, they are expensive to get. That's the one tough part, but I mean, that's just kind of the name of the game. Like, do you want to spend it on that, you know, or not? And so, you know, and I think I'm definitely something I'm gonna get for sure. Like, just I want them on there.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm definitely gonna work to get, just to make, you know, feel better when you go out there.
It's gonna be expensive.
I sit on a pad and stuff anyways. I don't go bare ass to the seat or anything like that, which I think you do on yours, don't you? Yeah. And so, you know, and I've heard different things. Like Brian Bell was talking to the Sharp guy, you know, the Sharp does the seatings.
Yeah.
And he said that you need to be in the car as tight as you possibly can. That way your ass doesn't come up out of the seat. You stay connected with the seat all the way through, basically. Well, then I've heard Danny Dietrich speculate that he doesn't tighten his belts super tight because if he crashes, he wants his butt to come out of the seat a little bit, you know, kind of like what a Chasm system would do. Like he wants to come out. He don't want to come out, you know, flying around, but a little bit to where his ass pops up and then you kind of land with the car, I guess, instead of landing bluntly.
So here's my argument
Which,
with
I mean,
that.
I would also could think maybe it would thrust you down harder.
But
yeah, I don't
the
know.
reason I think that is because, you know, and I don't remember if I've mentioned this before, but when I had my wreck at Bloomington, I biked up pretty hard. I had hit a hole. Parker Price Miller was in front of me. It was a MOA show. This was years ago. And this was back when Parker was driving his car. He was in front of me, and we were running right through the middle, and Parker kind of biked, and I was like 2 cars behind him. And I done the same dang thing, only his came back down and mine did not. When I came back down, I landed on the left side and hit the ground like really hard, just landed on the left side, stopped. I didn't continue flipping or anything. It just boom. It was a sudden stop. Well, what happened, I had too much room between my headrest. And so like when I biked, my head was this way. Well, when I landed back on my left side, I slammed this way. And dude, that was the term, I'm going to hit you so hard you see stars. That's a legit thing, is when my head hit the seat, I saw like everything went black, but I saw color. Like I just saw like little stars. And so that's what would worry me about that is coming down that much harder in the seat. And like the wreck earlier this year when me and Howard got together at Riverside, if you watch that video, it really didn't look that bad. But like I landed on the back wheels just enough that, man, I felt instant. Like my whole back was burning all the way to my neck, and from my tailbone to my neck. And I had to go to the chiropractor. That's why I gave Breck that shout out, because I went to the chiropractor and he fixed me right up. So, you know, and I've had to go back. I had to go back again after Peevely. I hurt that same spot again. That's one deal. You know, so yeah, I'd be real curious to know why he thinks that's a good idea. I mean, it doesn't sound like the Chasm deal to me. It just sounds kind of ignorant to me.
I mean, he said he also went on to say that our seats are too safe. Like he said, I can remember crashing and bending the rib cage of the seat, and we just chunked the seat away and put a new one in, and I just went and raced and wasn't sore or nothing like that. He said, you know, like our seats are too rigid and we don't. Basically, I guess he don't think we fly around enough in there or something to that effect. But he said like, you know, our seats are a little too safe and stuff like that.
That just doesn't. That sounds terrible.
Because I know, like when I was driving Hampton's car a couple years ago at Lexington, the steering broke going in the corner, and I went straight off the end and hit the wall, basically kind of like broadsided it like this.
You said Lexington?
Lexington. Yeah,
That happened to me too. At
I was
Lexington.
going in 1 and 2, and it like did that, and it went off the end of the track and hit the wall. Like I have the really tight head netting on there, and I didn't even have a headache or I wasn't sore or nothing the next day. Just my head didn't move a whole lot in there, and so like that's why I say like that's kind of crazy to think we just need the more aluminum seats back in there.
Yeah,
But
no.
because I had when I first started racing sprint cars, I did have like an older style seat with just the one little
Yeah, the one little rest
thing over here, and I crashed and bent that thing out like this. Like it didn't even do anything. It was just out like this.
I have a picture. The first car that we got, it had one of those seats in it. The one headrest. Of course, I didn't race it. I had a Butler built not long after that, but yeah, it had one of those seats in it, and I don't know if they just threw it in it whenever Dad got the car or why, or if it was actually raced. I think Crawley was driving the car, so I'd have to ask Crawley if that was actually his seat. I got a picture. I may ask him about it sometime and ask him if that was his real seat. But I don't know how you get in a sprint car and not have a full containment seat or anything.
I wouldn't want to.
I wouldn't want to either. I don't even know that I like having it open anymore. Having that bar, that new bar right here, where you know, before they had that, the right front could come clean in the car and run over you. And now I about rather soon just have a bar right there with the panel, keep somebody's right front from coming in. I don't even like racing without that.
Yeah, no, I had one forever. So I started. I was thinking 2020. I raced a Mob's car, and I had the little bar there. And the first year we ran Mike's car, we think we had one on there. And the second year we got a different car maybe and didn't have it on there. But the last couple of years I haven't had a car that's had one on there. And which I mean, maybe the 7 car I think does have one. Shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I do like having those on there. Like it keeps, the potential back bumper. Or
It's not
something
because
getting
I'm
up in there with you.
kicking. I just don't want to get hurt. Like
Yeah.
I'd rather not be hurt. I do have to go to work. I do have to provide. I'd just rather not be hurt. That's the only thing I love Bobby Jones, but that's the only thing I don't like about that 55 car is it don't have that bar right there on the left side. So, but I just try to, if I can just get out front, if I get me a lead, just get away from everybody. I'll be okay, I guess, or just stay away from everybody.
Yeah.
But so you wanted to bring up the Donnie Schatz speculations. What are you hearing?
Well,
'Cause I know what I've heard.
I was listening to Drivers Project podcast, and they had Connor Wade on there, which Connor Wade does the pit reporting
Right.
for the Outlaws. Well, they were asking him like about his South Dakota trip and whatnot, and he was saying, "Oh, it was awesome. It was great. I hung out at Donnie Scott's camp the whole week, and we cooked us big dinners every night, even after the races. They cooked us big dinners, cooked us big breakfasts. Like just had a great time. Blah blah blah." Well, then towards the end, Daryl had asked him, he asked like the group, he'd ask him like, what do you think Donnie Schatz is going to do? Do you think he's going to keep going ride by ride, or is he going to find something at the end of the year to lock it in for the rest of the year? And Connor Wade was like, well, I don't think it's going to continue ride hopping. I think after this West Coast swing, he's going to have something locked down full time. And, I think that might even carry into next year, or, he's got something locked down for next year, blah, blah. And he was going on. He's like, no, I don't have any inside information or anything like that. Like, I'm just kind of speculating. And Sam busted out laughing. He's like, it sounds like you know everything for me. That's when he was saying it too. I was like, he knows.
I think
he already knows.
He wanted to sound like he knew
Didn't
something.
know.
But
the Sam was like, I think you do know everything that's going on. That's what I thought too. And he was saying, I was like, he definitely knows something. So after the West Coast swing, he's going to have something locked in for the rest of the year. And if it's a certain team that I've heard Dirt Tracker talk about, then that could possibly lead into next year too.
I mean, you can bring it up. Is it Clausen Marshall?
Yeah, Dirt Tracker just mentioned he's just talking about somebody. He said, I've heard Clausen Marshall starting a second team.
Okay, so we've heard the
year.
same thing then.
And so that's when I was like, I bet Schatz that they're going to do a second car for Schatz, which then it turns into, well, they do Outlaws or they do High Limit. So I think after the West Coast swing, if he's in a Clausen Marshall second car, that's probably what's going to lead into the next year. I just thought those two things caught my attention. I listened to them on the same day.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's very interesting. I was like, that's got to be a Clausen Marshall.
Okay. So we were on the same page then, because you walked in and said, I want to talk about this Donnie Schatz speculation stuff, and we hadn't even spoke about it, but I was actually hearing the same thing. I had heard that Clausen Marshall was going to have a second team, or talking about second team, and I thought, I bet Donnie goes to that car,
Mhm.
if that's true. But I kind of feel like Donnie's he's an outlaw till he dies kind of guy.
That's
I
definitely
feel
where
like that'll
he
be that way.
would, I think, prefer to be. It's just, maybe he's talk if he is doing Clausen Marshall. Maybe that's part of their agreement. Is like we'll do the Outlaws, or we can go into one topic that we skipped at the beginning, Sheldon Haudenschild.
I was gonna go into that.
Or to be something Sheldon might not be around. I don't know. I mean, I know Ricky and Sheldon are pretty tight. I feel like, and Sheldon has done him a good job this year. He hasn't won a bunch of races, but he hasn't tore up nearly as much stuff. He has, made some mistakes winning races, which kind of got into his suspension and fine that he received from the Dakotas, which I was a little disappointed to hear because I'm a huge Sheldon fan. Like, I love his style. He's a humble kid. Like, well, he's probably 30 now. I can't say kid, but he's real humble. Like,
yeah, he can.
When he
30's still a kid.
When he wins, he does this little celebration, but he don't get crazy and stuff. And he's, pretty humble in his interviews. But, to see him, I knew he'd gotten spun out of the lead and they didn't throw a caution. This has happened to him before. If you remember, I don't remember what track it was at, but he spun into the infield
when he threw his helmet.
He got out and threw his helmet on the track.
Yeah.
And then apparently this time he got out of the car and ran to an official and I guess pulled on his helmet and tugged it around and broke his glasses, which caused a cut on the official's face. He got probation for the rest of the year and a $500 fine, which feels like a slap on the wrist, honestly.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
But that's crazy.
He probably spends that in an afternoon.
And I understand that he's the NOS like I get all that, but that's just something you can't run up to an official and.
I wonder how his sponsors take that. I mean, it's literally the NOS Energy Drink sprint cars, and he drives the NOS Energy car. So I wonder how his sponsors would view that. You know?
Well, I mean, that's probably. I'm sure they had a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Sean White just messaged me and said that the first one was at Weedsport, New York, when he threw the helmet on the track.
Yeah.
And so this one, I mean, I'm sure they had probably a long conversation after it, but I can understand Sheldon's frustration because it's happened to him before. You're one of the travelers. Like, even if you didn't see it, like the official says that, he didn't see what had happened. Even if you didn't see it, like if you look over and you see Sheldon stop there, he's one of your travelers, like he gets the benefit, in my opinion. Like, okay, we're going to throw a caution here for you. Like, no matter what, even if he is far enough off the track, I don't care. He spends millions of dollars. Like, we're going to throw a caution here.
Well, why should he get special treatment though?
Because he's an outlaw.
Because if that was me, they're going to be like,
well, yeah. I mean, that's just part of not being an outlaw. You sign up for the benefits and spend $1 million to burn up the road.
I don't like that. Why have different rules for different people? This ain't, I don't agree.
That's
with
America. That's the way it is. There's different rules for different people now.
that.
That's life. That's everyday life.
We don't need to run the world of Outlaws or any series like they run America because it's clearly terrible.
It's the everyday life. That's just life. There's different rules, different people. You got the money. You're the haves. You got the haves. You got all the benefits. If you don't, you don't.
I'll tell you, that's why they got big egos. Listen, I've been a Sheldon Haudenschild fan too for quite some time. We had a little run in early in the year. And even after I got done telling him what I thought about him, I still told him good luck next week. I'd be rooting for him because I'm a fan, and he didn't know how to take that. But, he kind of showed me that night he does have a big ego, and...
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess we just look at it different. I would feel the same way if I was an outlaw and that happens. I'm winning the race, and then you don't throw the caution for me. Like,
well... I mean, I don't know. I don't really agree with it. I think that if he was out of the way, the show goes on. I don't know of another race or anything that where that wouldn't happen. If they get out of the way, then I mean, hey, we're staying green. No need for a caution. No need to ruin everybody else's race because you're out of the way.
Every series gives their guys special treatments, and that's just the way it is. I mean, I saw it at USAC show at the what's the big race? They just had the SmackDown, and I don't remember who had the flat, but they were a USAC car, and 5 laps or less, it was Briggs Danner. He'd won the night before, and he was running second, had a flat. 5 laps or less, you don't get any courtesy laps. As soon as we're lined up, we go back green. Well, Briggs Danner they rode around forever, and he got his tire changed and got back on the track. He's a USAC follower. Like, you just get the benefit of the doubt. That's just life.
Are you telling me that there's favorites in series and at racetrack?
I mean, I'd say series.
Do you think Riverside has favorites?
I don't think the racetracks have favorites. I think the series has favorites.
According to the officials, we
you're-
don't have favorites.
If you're part of the traveling circus, like, you get a little bit of favoritism there, which, like I said, I think you should. If you're spending millions of dollars to come put on a show, and you're like, your 12, 14 teams are basically the heartbeat of it, well, then the heartbeat just gets special.
I can get
treatments.
one to take care of.
I would
them,
even love to see, like, me and Brian talked about this, is I hate the work area. I hate the work area. I hate double file restarts. The work area, it drags the show out. I hate the 2-minute thing. Only thing I would say is I get special treatment. If you're an outlaw, you get your 2 minutes. If you're not an outlaw, you get off track. I'm sorry. Like, nobody came here to see you tonight. Nobody came here to see you. That's just the way it is.
Well, dang.
Brian even said it too. He was like, nobody came to watch me race. Like, so if I'm sorry, that's just the way I feel about it. Like,
Okay. So I'm trying to think of something to compare this to. So I guess if the Cardinals are playing, I don't know who sucks in the MLB.
The Cardinals.
The Cardinals. Well, the Cardinals suck. Okay. So just say like this really high ranking MLB team and this really low ranking MLB team. So are the rules different for the Cardinals versus the other team? You know what I mean? I know it's a really bad analogy because I don't know baseball, but why are the rules got to be different for these guys versus these guys? Just because of who they are.
I don't think that's even nowhere near the same.
I know it's not. I know it's a terrible analogy, but you see what I'm trying to say? Like, why does the rule have to be different for them versus me?
I just told you they spend millions of dollars to go do it.
I don't
Like,
care.
They spent millions of dollars. They are the show. Like, that's why we're there.
I'm part of the show.
Well,
Why
yeah,
does it-
you're one.
So you're telling me
sport.
if you go to Peevely and you're running, just say you're running the Ironman and you've got a tire goes flat,
Yeah.
10 laps in,
Yeah.
and you're running in the top 10, and you get off the racetrack, change the tire.
Well, first of all, I don't have the ability to do that because we haven't set
No. That's not the point. I'm saying the point is if you're running in the top 10 and you got a tire goes flat and they don't give you any time to change your tire.
Yes, I'm not the show. Nobody's there to see
That's
me.
ridiculous.
That's not.
That is ridiculous.
That's not. I hate the work area. I hate double file restarts. I'll
Why?
die on this hill. I hate the
Why?
work area. The work area sucks. Like, we don't come to watch caution laps be run. We don't come to see none of that stuff.
Oh, come on.
So yeah.
Why don't you like double file restarts? I wish
Double file
I wish we
restarts
all did it.
Suck. I hate double file restarts. You're winning the race. The guy in second starts running the top, is coming
Yeah.
in. You line up, you're like, well, bottom's working good for me, so I can start on the bottom. Well, then the top smokes your ass because you had no idea.
No,
Like,
no.
double file restarts are stupid.
No.
They
If you're
tear
the-
up shit on double file restarts. They're dumb. You're the leader of the race. You've earned that. You get to keep that. We don't get to line up next to me because
Okay.
it's double file restart.
Okay, fine. Well, what's the rule that I don't know what they call it? The don't modifieds and late models they have the leader. He has
Yeah,
his
I
own
hate
run.
though. I hate it on them. I hate it on everything.
Why,
I hate double file. I hate Delaware double file. I hate it all.
dude? I'm Delaware double file. That's what it's called. I couldn't remember that. Well, I like it,
Yeah, I hate
and
double file
I even
restarts.
liked being able to choose what lane I wanted to go to because
I mean, if you're going to do double file, that's the way to do it
Yeah.
for sure. But I still hate it.
well then let them choose, and then what's the problem?
I hate double file regardless. I said that's a better way of doing it.
Dude,
I
that
didn't
is
say
my
it was the
favorite.
perfect way to
I
do it.
love the double file starts. I'd much rather every
Hate double file
restart be a
restart.
double file restart. I'm licking my chops when it's double file.
hate double file restarts.
Well, that's
Hate
that's
him as a
just me.
fan, hate him as a driver, hate him all the way around.
Oh my goodness! What
Nah,
as a
dude.
fan?
As a fan, I hate
It's
him
way
too.
more entertaining.
Disagree. Tear up more shit, makes the night get a lot drag out.
Why do you care? You're a fan.
I don't want to be there till 4 in the morning.
No, I ain't talking about dragging it out. It's more entertaining.
The double file restarts,
Yes.
no, it's not. It tears up more shit, and I'm saying leads to this problem.
I don't agree.
It's
at
not
all.
entertaining,
I
man.
don't agree at all. I think it's way more entertaining.
Not to me.
It gives you opportunity to get more cars on a start. When
especially
we're all single file,
Especially if you're Zach Kempton, he just goes whenever he wants to.
that is true. And
That's the problem with it. I'm sitting here in 10th, and the bottom lane fires off. Well, I get passed by 5 guys because my lane doesn't fire.
Who is it? Is it Morel in the 28 car? I can't think of his name. He done that crap at Peevely on the Friday night we ran. So that from that point, I get it. But at the same time, it's still more. You get an opportunity.
Like I
to
worked my
make
ass off.
some
I went
moves.
20. Like I go 20th to 14th. We're like, all right, we're sitting good here. Well, then my lane don't go, and I'm back to 20th again. I'm like, well, screw me, I guess. You know.
Oh my goodness! All right. Well,
Hey, look at chat though.
chat. What about chat?
Just look at what people are saying.
Love the choose. As a habitual start jumper, I prefer single file. Oh, Bubba, you're not right. I told Tucker Bolton shoved Hagar after the race at Dega. Anyone hear about that? Oh, is that true?
He said what?
So Brennan Cummins said, I was told Tucker Bolton shoved Hagar after the race at Dega. Anyone hear about
I heard they had a confrontation, but I was already
Well, I
I
would.
was already getting changed at that point.
I don't mean this bad, but I would call Derek and ask him about it, but I know Derek's not going to answer the phone. So, what's Brad's take on the cone? What's your take on the cone? Does he know? I'm sure he already knows. Brian Bell said, what's Brad's take on the cone?
Cone or what? Choose cone or cone?
I don't know if he means
I think he
choose
said
cone.
choose cone again. Well, I said I like
choose
I
cone.
like the choose cone, but I still don't like double file restarts.
I don't know, man. I just feel like every double file restart, I've always been able to capitalize, or more than likely been able to capitalize than single file. Because I mean, when we're single file, we all go in the corner. We can't pass before the line, so like you more than likely can't get anybody.
With the sprint car racing, you have to have structure, or we just go crazy.
But craziness is what makes it fun.
That's crazy is what you get your shit tore up. It's just like I remember the Outlaw show. I'm trying to do double file restarts, and we're like 15th, and Brock Zierfoss is just like, well, screw you, I'm just going before we go green. I was like, okay, well, this is dumb.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just the same thing at Farmington. Like we don't even have a cone at all, and like I like to arc out on the restarts and come down the hill. Well, if I do that, they just go up underneath me and drive on. I'm like, well, I just got to follow wherever the leader's going.
Well, I mean, if they're not,
so I just like the cone. Is just the single file cone. It keeps everything in order. Like there's no getting crazy. You can try to jump out of line, but you still can't pass them until you get to the cone. And I don't know, the double files just get insane and you tear shit up.
Well, my thing is play the game. If people are going to jump the starts, just start jumping it. Do it too.
I mean, yeah, but then
you know how many times I've done it? I've done it a bunch of times.
Well,
I mean, I'll be honest. If I'm back there in the back and there's an opportunity, I'm jumping it. Bigger than crap. I'll do it every time.
Well, I guess this weekend we do Power Eye and we do double file. I'm just going to jump every one.
Just jump them all. What are they going to do? They're going to put you back one row if they catch you. If they call it back, unless you're the front row, it's really not that big a deal. You know what I mean? Just jump the crap out of it.
All right. I'm gonna
Just do it.
I'm going to do it.
You'll be fine. Yeah. You'll be perfectly fine. And more than likely,
I'm going to do it. And then they're going to come up and knock the left front out of it.
Well, see,
shit's going to be
you're not a Power Eye guy, so you're a nobody. I mean, so they're probably not even going to bother you.
Maybe not. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm saying, hey, they're Power Eye. They got their incentives.
I better see you jump two rows this weekend. There better be some video. Was there any more comment? Did we miss any comments y'all were bringing up or wanting us to?
Chance Brandon works as an official this Saturday at Riverside.
So that is getting brought up. Yeah, I might have a job this Saturday night.
Which one are you going to be doing?
I'll be holding a flag, but thankfully not in the flag stand.
Oh, you'll be on the corner worker.
I'll be a corner worker in turn one Saturday night at Riverside.
I want you to wear your driving suit so you'll be safe out there.
You want me to wear my driving suit? I can wear my driving suit if that's really what they want me to do.
Get you like Donnie Schatz did and get a white marker and write Riverside Speedway on it.
I really hope they give me one of
crew.
those fancy Riverside shirts. I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know if they got any of those on standby and extra large bed sheeting or not. I don't know if I can wear anything they got or not. Anything else? Cards suck right now. Move on. That's funny.
Uncle Steve said that he always thought I was the voice of reason of the show. I was like, well, you must not listen very much. I'm the controversial one on the show.
I gotta say, when Bo's here, he can get pretty controversial, but he brings up NASCAR.
Yeah. He likes to get to controversy.
He likes to bring up NASCAR too much for Perky. I don't guess I've really seen anything we didn't already bring up, but well, this was fun. I didn't know we would get into the. I can't believe you don't like double file restarts
double
and stuff.
file
I never knew
restarts.
that. I think it's
I'll die on
Awesome.
that hill.
well, die on that hill you will then, because I'm definitely all for it.
And I hate the work area unless you're a World of Outlaw driver.
See, you're kind of like the that's like the rich get richer.
I just
argument to
said
me.
that's life. I mean,
I don't care. I don't know. It's whatever. I think Brandon, you coming to Power Hour this weekend? No, I'm not unless somebody was to I don't know, if they was to call me and say, hey, I got a ride, you want to come drive it? I don't guess I'm doing anything. We're gonna work turn 1 at Riverside Saturday night. My car has been parked for the year, so me and Dad had a conversation last week. We got to get back in form. We've got all this old stuff, and we need to go through and basically make our race car great again, like make everything great again. Because we've got old stuff. We really need to go through and just fix all these things that have been going wrong, and we just need to show up more prepared. And so we just decided to park it and let's just get our crap together and get everything right.
yeah.
If you're going to be spending money to go to the races, you need to make sure that every freaking thing is in order. And so that's just kind of what we've decided. It's been a terrible year. We've wrecked the car 2 or 3 times. And we just really need to build our inventory up and just bring a better car and be more prepared. So that's what we decided. And I hope that, I hope Bobby Jones will let me drive his car some, or anybody else. I mean, anybody come forward and ask
Have
me
you
to
talked
drive
to
their
him
car.
anymore?
Yeah, I did talk to him. He had another project he's been working on, so he's not racing as of this moment.
Yeah.
But he said that he'd get the car ready and he'd let me know what he wanted to do. But honestly, I'm really up for
You earned
anything.
another chance in it.
Yeah. I think I'll get another chance in it. I think he was happy after Atwood with, I believe after Atwood, how I did. So
There's some 360 stuff coming up in the area. I know Jackson, Mississippi's on September 13th. He likes going down there.
yeah.
Then you got the Flip Flop in August, October. So I mean, there's a couple things coming up.
I tell you, what I really, really wish I could make is I would love to run Peevely with the 360. I think
that's the
September
20th.
20th.
September
20th.
Yeah.
I really want to run that show. I like Peevely. I know I had the worst wreck I've ever had there, but I still like that place.
Yeah,
It's still a good racetrack. So I would like to go if I can, but I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, hey, if Dale Howard or
sure.
somebody's got extra ride and they wouldn't mind letting me drive it, I don't care.
I'm
I'd
sure
be good for
Bobby
anything.
would probably be interested in going to Peevely, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
that's something I'd keep talking to him and just
Yeah.
keep the lines open. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, heck yeah, I'm up for any of it. Anybody wants to throw? What are y'all doing? What was that? Go back up. What was that? My
It
dad.
showed up on the computer, so I clicked on it.
Clayton messaged
I ain't
me.
giving y'all no. I ain't giving that no time
Clayton
today. Y'all are
messaged
crazy.
me and said single file is the right answer.
Clayton's wrong. Clayton's wrong. I don't care if he owns the racetrack or not. He is wrong.
Okay, Brandon Howard.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He just, that ain't right. I think double files is way more entertaining for sure, and especially if you could pick your line you're in. But you see,
Speaking of, what's
Smart
Riverside got going on this weekend? They got the Steel Block Late Model Show this weekend. They had like 22 of those things last time over there.
Really?
So.
Is there any man? Please tell me there's some form of sprint car going over there. If I have to sit through, look, my arm's gonna get tired waving a caution flag if it's the same late model race that we had last time.
Going on here. Yeah, let's see. So yeah, 1,000 win late models, 305s, mods, 600s, and stock cars.
Brad, are you drinking out of a barrel? How that joker bigger than your head?
I gotta stay hydrated. All right.
Oh my goodness.
You know, you don't keep this form by drinking sodas and stuff. All right.
Yeah, that's how you get this form. Not sodas, though, sweet tea.
I hadn't said some shit like that in a long time.
All right. I think it's about time to head out. You got any?
Sounds good.
Was there anything else you wanted to bring up? That's pretty
No,
much
no.
everything I wanted to cover.
Pretty much got all the stuff that I wanted to talk about. So
All right. Well, cool deal.
thanks
well,
for interacting in the chat. That was
yeah,
fun.
that is kind of fun.
What do you-
305 should be interesting because Keith Cheater is going to a football game.
Oh shit.
Oh man. Hey, wait a minute. That's an open ride. I could flag all the other races. Just like get out of the car and I'll flag the other races and then just hop back in for the feature. So let's see. Oh, we didn't even bring up, Sammy won at Benton this past weekend. We
Yeah.
didn't even bring that
Yeah.
up.
My wife's
do
telling
that.
you to keep going. Dinner isn't ready.
Oh, dang. It's 8:30. I'm starving. I was looking forward to it. All right. But anyway, all right, that's a good time to end it, I guess. Maybe I can go speed up supper.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all listening. Thanks for interacting. It's fun.
We'll be back what next Monday night? This
So-
Tuesday we'll be back. Or no, you'll be gone.
I
out
was
of town,
gonna
won't you?
say, so we have an interview that's gonna come out next week. We're gonna record it tomorrow night if that's cool with you. If you don't mind coming back right after church to do it. I got a guest. I got a guest that's coming. So I'm gonna be out of town next week. I'm going to the Vault conference, and
Be hanging out with Patrick Bet.
yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with Patrick Bet David.
Ask him about Double File Restart. Or no, ask him about Work Area and World of Outlaws. If you got millions of dollars,
That-
should you get
that guy-
Podcast?
I
So
would
that's-
love it if Patrick Bet David come on the podcast, but I would probably just sit here and just let him talk. But anyway, hey Brian said he'd fill in. That'd be kind of cool if Brian wants to come. So if y'all want to do that,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
what we'll do.
we'll have our plan was, or my plan, I hadn't even told Will yet. I was gonna have a guest come in tomorrow night, record, and then put it out Monday. But y'all are more than welcome if y'all want to do something next week.
Yeah, let's just save it for a rainy day if we have.
Yeah, whatever y'all want to do. But
Yeah.
hey, Brian, if you want to come talk, I told him I got to talk to him week before last. Went to his office and I wound up sitting there talking to him. I felt like hour and a half.
Yeah.
And so
It'll be
see-
crew chief for me all this weekend, so we'll have a lot. To talk
Oh yeah,
about.
see y'all could okay. So if y'all want to do that, hey, be my guest. Come on. This is a big chair to fill. But anyway, we appreciate y'all listening. I'll be back week after next. If you guys would please share the podcast. Make sure you give us a follow. What's that?
Turn notifications.
Turn
Yeah, turn the
notifications.
bell
Turn the
on.
notifications on so you know that we're going live. Yeah, I appreciate it. And hey, follow my TikTok. I go live on there. Come on there and just chit chat with me while I'm racing. I'll
I'll put up the socials after you'll go.
okay, yeah, put up all the socials and yeah, y'all can I'll get on there and just go race the dirt late model. Maybe Brian, if I can get Brian Bell to get on TikTok and maybe give me setup advice, because apparently he knows how to set up a dirt late model. So he can
It's
he
outside
can,
his expertise. I
yeah,
believe.
he can hop on there and apparently give me setup advice. That's what Head said anyway. but anyway, yeah, hop on there and come chat with me sometime. What about you?
Let's got my YouTube. I don't even know what it is. Just search Brad Bowden, and you'll find me on there. Of course, all my
'Cause
Facebooks,
he's famous.
Facebooks,
Just type in
Facebooks,
Brad Bowden.
Instagram,
It comes right up.
All that stuff is on there. Well, you also find a paralyzed hockey player if you search Brad Bowden.
Oh, hey,
So both of those things are on there. So
I looked up. There was some black cop or whatever that was under investigation or arrested. His name was Brandon Hanks. It was up in Pennsylvania or something. That was like one of the first things that pops up whenever you look up me on YouTube. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna go help speed up supper. We appreciate
right.
y'all listening. Thank y'all.
appreciate it.